This is a single-player gold farm that produces over 1,650 gold blocks per hour. It also gets you tons of XP. In this video, I'll teach you how it works and how to build it. Skip to this time for the tutorial, or if you want to learn how it works, just keep watching. This farm is an improved version of my old gold farm, so if you built that one, I'll explain how you can modify it to get these new rates without needing to rebuild the whole thing. Skip to this time to modify the old gold farm, or keep watching to learn how it works. This farm works in 1.16 and up. Here's how it works. The farm is built in a nether waste biome, and the spawning platforms are magma blocks with 2 blocks of air above them. This makes zombified piglins the only mobs that can spawn in the farm. In single player, there's a hostile mob cap of 70, so 70 piglins will spawn on these platforms. The piglins walk towards the turtle eggs in the middle and go through these portals. When a hostile mob leaves the dimension, it's removed from the mob cap and the game will spawn another mob in its place. The piglins get teleported to this bottom portal and then they push each other out into these bubble columns. The bubble columns and water streams take 15 seconds to travel through, so the piglins' nether portal cooldown is over by the time they get to the second portal. Then they fall and take some damage so that they can be one-shotted by the player. These slime blocks push the piglins into the nether portal quickly. There's also blocks in front of the top portal block to make sure they go through the bottom of the portal. There's honey blocks on the floor to keep the piglins from jumping, which would prevent them from getting pushed into the portal. Then there's packed ice to help them slide into the portal. These things are important because the piglins are teleported through this portal to a killing chamber where we're using a mechanic called boat looting. Credit to MD for their video on it, link to their video in the description. Boat looting works like this. You put a bunch of boats outside a nether portal so that when a mob goes through the portal, it immediately gets into the boat. When a mob gets into a boat, it's removed from the mob cap, allowing more piglins to spawn. If the piglins go through the top of this nether portal, they'll get teleported out on the top of the killing chamber portal, which means they'll have to fall before they get into a boat. This makes them get out of the mob cap slower, so we put blocks there to fix this. Baby piglins that stand in these corners are not picked up by the boats, so these slime blocks push the piglins through the portal because entities keep their momentum when they go through a portal. So the momentum they get from the slime blocks forces them to land at the front of the portal instead of the back corner, which makes them get into the boats. This turtle egg will also draw any piglins that are in the corner to the front of the portal so they get into the boats. This is the main thing that increases the rates of this farm, because it used to take almost 3 seconds for each piglin to get removed from the mob cap, and now it takes a few milliseconds. This increases the amount of piglins that spawn per hour from 35,000 to 54,000. Now that the piglins are in the boats, the player hits this armor stand to deal sweeping edge damage to them, which kills them and frees up the boats so that more piglins can get into them. This farm can now have an automatic mode that produces 53,000 drops per hour without the player hitting the piglins. Personally, I don't think the automatic mode is necessary, but if you want to make it, here's how you do it. Remove the drop from in front of the portal, and instead of putting 20 boats for boat looting, put 120. Mobs drop items from their feet, and since the hitboxes of piglins go below the boats, the drops fall down rather than landing on top of the boats. The powder snow slows down items so they don't go far. It isn't necessary though. The player is high above the bedrock ceiling, so their spawning sphere doesn't go far below the bedrock, which means you don't have to spawn proof for this farm. You also don't have to break any bedrock for it. Because the piglins get brought back into the nether, the player is both causing the piglins to spawn and killing them, meaning this farm is single player friendly. It also gets extra looting drops by allowing the player to kill the piglins. It also works in multiplayer, but with a catch. If a player is in the overworld and is over 128 blocks away while you're using the farm, all the piglins will despawn. The only way around this is to have a player AFK in the overworld next to your farm so that the piglins are in an 128 block radius of them. As far as I know, this is the fastest gold farm that's single player friendly and doesn't require spawn proofing or bedrock breaking. The killing chamber is moved off to the side of the spawning platforms because when Minecraft tries to spawn a mob, it will choose an X and Z value, and then it will choose a random Y value between the bottom of the world and the highest block in this column. If the place that Minecraft chooses to spawn a mob is not a valid spawning space, the spawn will fail. So we want to optimize the odds that Minecraft chooses a successful spawning space, and how we do that is by keeping the top Y value of the spawning platforms as low as possible. For example, this position on the spawning platforms has its highest block in the column at Y228. So if we want a piglin to spawn on one of the magma blocks in this column, there's a 34 out of 228 chance that that happens. But if we have the killing chamber above the spawning platforms, the highest block in the column will go up to 255, meaning we have a 34 out of 255 chance of the mob spawning there. That's why the killing chamber is moved off to the side of the actual farm. We also have this glass platform around the top platform to help with pack spawning. It helps because anytime a piglin spawning attempt happens, regardless of if it succeeds or fails, the game will choose a position on the same Y level but within 5 blocks on the X and Z axis to attempt another spawn, and then it will do that again and then again. If the roof wasn't here, the game would only attempt spawns on the magma blocks, because surrounding the magma blocks, the top block in these columns is the bedrock, meaning spawns would only attempt under the bedrock. So adding the glass roof means that more spawning attempts will happen and fail, but some of the spawning attempts will cause successful pack spawns on the magma blocks. The sorting system system is moved down because even though it isn't above the spawning platforms, it is above the glass roof, which means that spawns would fail up here, and then because there are no valid spawning spaces nearby, every pack spawning attempt would also fail. If you have a lower end PC, I recommend you download the world from the description and try the farm before you build it. If it's too laggy, try downloading some FPS boosting mods like Sodium, Lithium, and Starlight. A lot of these changes were inspired by Strome's gold farm. Strome had some really good ideas that I applied to my design to make it faster. He was also really helpful explaining his thought process to me on many of the choices he made while designing this farm, so go check out his channel, link in the description. If you want to learn how to modify the old farm, skip to this time. Now that you know how the farm works, let's go over how to build it. The first thing we need to do is gather these resources. Then we need to find a nether waste biome that's far away from any portals that you use. This is necessary so that the portals in the farm link correctly. Go to the middle of the nether waste biome and then dig up until you hit bedrock. Then hit F3 and look at the targeted block. Dig around on the bedrock until you find a bedrock block where the targeted Y value is 127. Then place ladders going up to the top of the bedrock and climb to the top of the ladder. Hold your forward and jump key and then throw an ender pearl while facing the ladder. Now you should be on the nether ceiling. Now let's build the spawning platforms. Choose a spot to build your gold farm and make sure that the surrounding area is nether wastes. Build a 5x5 obsidian square. Build up 4 obsidian from each corner. Connect the pillars with obsidian. This should form 4 3 wide and 3 tall nether portals. On top of these portals, build up 6 obsidian from each corner. Connect the pillars with obsidian. This should form 4 3 wide and 5 tall nether portals. Build 15 more layers of 3 wide and 5 tall nether portals. You should be standing at Y229 once you're done with those portals. Build up 4 obsidian from each corner. Connect the pillars with obsidian. Place slabs on top of the nether portals. Now jump down from the top of the portal to the bottom of the portal and place a glass block in the middle of the portals, one above the obsidian. Then place a turtle egg on top. Now jump down to the next portal and repeat the glass and turtle egg. Do that for every portal in the farm. Once you finish that, you should be at the bottom portal. Now place a trapdoor against the bedrock and glass block. Stand on the trapdoor and jump while shifting and place trapdoors all the way to the top of the nether portals. Stand on the trapdoors and open all of them like this. Repeat those steps on each side to fully cover the turtle eggs and trapdoors. Now go to the bottom portal. Go 1 block above the bottom obsidian and build out 7 magma blocks from the middle of the portal. Build out 5 magma blocks on the left and right. Put Frostwalker on your boots to avoid taking damage from the magma blocks. Then repeat this on each side. Connect the platforms with diagonal bridges and then fill in the platform. When you're done, it should look like this. Build up 2 blocks and then build another magma block platform. Repeat this all the way to the top. If you stand on your top magma block layer, you should be at Y229. Build a 7 block long glass beam from one below the obsidian. Go to the opposite side of the portals and build another glass beam. Move 3 blocks left and build a beam that goes from one side of the spawning platform to the other. Move 3 more blocks left and build another beam that spans the platform. Move 3 more blocks left and build a final beam that spans the platform. Now repeat this on the right side. When you're finished, it should look like this. Place string all around the top platform, filling in the corners with string like this. Build a glass platform around the string. The platform should look like this when you're done. Now let's build the Overworld Bridge. At the top of the spawning platforms, hit F3 and face north. That's the direction that the bridge is going to be built in. It can be built in any direction, but for simplicity, I'm going to specify a direction to build it in. Go to the portal on the north side and hit F3 and take the X and Z coordinates of the middle obsidian block. For me, the coordinates are -177, 657. Now light the portal and go through. Break the portal on the other side. Multiply the coordinates you just took by 8 and go to them. Build up until your feet are at Y179. Build a 2 wide and 3 tall nether portal that's facing east and west. Light the portal and make sure it links to the portal at the top of the spawning platforms. Go through the portal at the top of the spawning platforms and make sure it links up to the portal in the air. Place 10 soul sand on each side of the nether portal. Build a wall around the soul sand with a building block. Build this wall up until your feet are at Y316. Make sure to add this wall in the middle that divides both sides of the soul sand. Then build out 2 blocks north. Build a 2 high wall on the back and sides. Place temporary blocks over the hole. Build a temporary wall like this. Place water against the back wall. Break the temporary blocks that are over the holes. Place 2 temporary blocks and then a block in the front middle of the hole like this. Repeat this above the other hole. Break the temporary wall. Swim down the hole. Place kelp on the back blocks of soul sand and in the middle of the front, below the block you placed. Then bone meal the kelp to turn the water into source blocks. Break the kelp and then ride the bubble column up, moving around to make sure that every block is a bubble column. Break the block in the middle. Repeat that on the other side of the portal. If done correctly, both holes should have bubble columns in them, and at the top the water should flow north. Swim down the water that's flowing off the edge and build down with 15 temporary blocks. Build an 11 long honey block strip off of the last temporary block. Make sure the honey is parallel to the bubble columns. Build an 11 long packed ice strip on the north side of the honey blocks. Build a 3 tall and 11 wide nether portal on the north side of the packed ice. 1 block up and behind the honey, build an 11 block long slime block strip. Place blocks that aren't movable by slime blocks above the slime blocks, and then place 2 more on the sides of the slime blocks like this. On one side, place a sticky piston facing into the slime blocks. Then place a block 1 below and 1 to the side of the sticky piston like this. Put a comparator on that block facing into the sticky piston. Then put 2 hoppers facing into each other next to the comparator. Place 2 composters on top of the hoppers. Put an item into the hopper to start the clock. Swim to the top of the water and place 11 open fence gates to stop the water from flowing down. Light the nether portal, but don't go through it yet. Place a wall in front of the top block of the nether portal and then extend that wall up by 14 blocks. Build walls on the sides that are 17 blocks tall like this. Build a back wall that connects to the top. Now you have a drop chute. Finally, add a roof to the bridge. Now your bridge is done. Go through the nether portal. Next, let's build the killing chamber. Break this portal to stop pigmen from coming through before the farm is finished. At the top of the spawning platforms, go to the north side and go 5 blocks into the glass platform, and then destroy a 4x2 hole in the glass like this. Now build up with glass around this hole until your feet are at Y250. Build a 2 tall and 4 wide obsidian base, and then build the rest of the nether portal on the side that's closer to the spawning platforms. Go through this portal and it should link to the second bridge portal. Build out 32 blocks west and build a second portal, which is your access portal. Light it, but don't go through it yet. Go through the second bridge portal and now build out 2 blocks west and build a portal. Make sure that when you stand in either portal, the Y value is 252. These portals will allow you to get in and out of the nether without messing up the boats that we're about to place. Go through the access portal and make sure it links to the overworld access portal and vice versa. Go through the killing chamber portal and make sure it links to the second bridge portal and vice versa. Place fences against the killing chamber portal like this. Place walls in the corners of this tube like this. Go through your access portal and go to your second bridge portal and break it. Then build a system to dispense the boats like this. Place water and then a stair in the water. Place a block on the side of the stair and then extend the block downwards so you can place a dispenser facing upwards like this. Then place a hopper pointing into the dispenser with a chest on top. Put a lever on the dispenser and put 11 boats into the chest. Dispense the boats, then light the portal. Go through the access portal and then break one side of the killing chamber portal like this. Put a fence here and then use pistons to push the boats into the fence. Put 2 temporary fences on top of the fences at the front. Now go behind and use a piston and a block to push the boats forward. They should fall like this. Now break the bottom boat. Do not touch the boats or else this will happen. Break the fence and repair the portal. Go back through your access portal and break the second bridge portal. Put 11 boats into the dispenser, dispense them, and then light the portal. Go through the access portal and repeat the steps, but on the other side of the portal. Fix the portal and break the temporary fences you placed. Place powder snow over the boats. Break these 2 obsidian blocks and move the top of the portal down by 1. Light the new killing chamber portal. Place glass on top of the obsidian to prevent mobs from spawning. Remove your access portals and boat dispensing setup. Then place glass on the back of the killing chamber portal. Place trapdoors on the front like this. Place 3 fences above the trapdoors like this. Place a turtle egg on this fence. Place Place an armor stand against the fence above the turtle egg and then sprint and hit the armor stand to knock it into this corner. Place a slab here and then sand and then a cactus. Build a small platform like this. Build up these walls by 2 blocks on each side. Build up these walls and add a roof over you like this. Place 2 trapdoors against the powder snow. Now your killing chamber is done. Now let's build the sorting system. Drop down to the bedrock ceiling and go under the drop chute. Use scaffolding to build up to the drop chute. 2 blocks below the glass roof, build a 4x3 glass platform like this, so that 4 glass are under the drop chute and the rest is under the glass. Extend the drop chute down by 1 block. Place 4 sticky pistons facing toward you at the edge of the platform. Place 4 carpets in front of the sticky pistons. Go behind the sticky pistons and place a 2x4 area of blocks like this. Put repeaters facing into the pistons and redstone dust behind them. Build 2 blocks east and then 1 block up. Place redstone on these blocks. Now break these 7 glass blocks. Place blocks 1 below the hole like this. Then place a lever with a comparator on subtract mode in front of it, and then a repeater on full delay, then 2 redstone dust, then a repeater on full delay, and then a dust. This is your on-off switch for the sorting system. Jump back down and build a staircase facing north like this. Place redstone dust on top of the staircase. Place a sticky piston facing west against this redstone dust. Place a glass block above the piston. Place honey blocks against the piston in a staircase like this. Place 2 blocks 1 below this block, then another block 1 down, then another 2 blocks 1 down. Put a repeater on full delay here and then redstone dust down the blocks. Place a sticky piston on the end of these blocks. Put a glass block above the piston. Put a honey block on the front of the piston. Put an immovable block above the honey block. Place glowstone on top of the honey block staircase like this. Then place glowstone in front of this honey block and 1 more glowstone below and in front of this glowstone. Now wall in all of these sides to prevent items from falling out. Leave this side open though. Place 2 blocks facing north, 1 below this block like so. Put a repeater on full delay pointing out of this block and then a redstone dust. Put a sticky piston here. Put a slime block on the front of it. Put a glowstone above the sticky piston. Place an ender chest 1 in front and 1 below this honey block. Place an immovable block in front and below the ender chest. Build out 20 packed ice blocks west from the immovable block. Then place buttons on the packed ice blocks. 5 blocks below the ice, use some temporary blocks to make areas to stand on both sides of the ice. Place chests 1 block below and to the side of the ice like this. Repeat this all the way down the ice, but don't place a chest next to the last ice block. This farm fills 63 chests per hour with gold nuggets and a little under 2 chests per hour with gold ingots, so when adding storage, multiply how many hours you want to AFK for with 65 to figure out how many chests you need. Divide the number of chests you need by 2 to get the amount of hoppers you need. You can also add a shulker box loader if you want, but I'm just going to build the farm with chest storage. Place a hopper pointing into the ice and 2 hoppers pointing into the chest, and repeat this all the way down the line. Now let's build the item filters. Build out 3 blocks from the bottom hopper and then place a temporary block here. Put 3 blocks on the sides of the dirt like I do. Break this temporary block and place a repeater in the gap pointing towards the hoppers. Then place a redstone torch on the back of the block that the repeater is facing. On the top, place a comparator pointing out of the hopper with 3 redstone dust in front of it. This is what one item filter looks like. Now we just have to copy it all the way across. Next, we have to put items into the item filters. So in 3 of the hoppers, put 41 gold ingots and 4 random items that aren't produced by the farm, and in the other 16, put 41 gold nuggets and 4 random items that aren't produced by the farm. If you don't have this much gold, you can start the farm to get it and add the items to the filters later. At the end of the ice, place 2 temporary blocks like this and surround it with glass on every side except for the top. Destroy the temporary blocks and put lava in the hole. Destroy all your temporary blocks and scaffolding to make sure mobs don't spawn on them. You also need 3 beacons for this farm to have max rates. You need strength 2 and haste 2 to kill the piglins as fast as possible, and resistance 1 and regen 1 to keep you from starving to death. Make sure to spawn proof your beacon. Light all the portals in your farm. Now turn on the clock. Go back up to your killing chamber and you should see piglins come through the portal and then you can kill them. While using this farm, you'll pick up some items, so fill your inventory with something so you don't. Use a sharpness 5, sweeping edge 3, looting 3, and mending sword. Don't use fire aspect because it will break the armor stand, and don't use smite because since the armor stand isn't undead, the extra damage doesn't pass on to the piglins, so sharpness lets you kill them the fastest. Hit every 11 ticks for the best rates. Now let's do a 1 hour test. So after the 1 hour test, we have 1,660 64 gold blocks, and a little bit of extra. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. If you build this farm, please leave this video a like. Here's how to modify the gold farm to get these new rates. Trim off the sides of the spawning platforms by 1 block on each side. Add a platform at the bottom and add 2 platforms at the top, replacing the glass ceiling and glass beams. Now replace your Overworld Bridge with the new design. Next, replace the killing chamber and sorting system with the new design. Follow the tutorial at this time to do so. If you build this farm, please leave this video a like. Finally, I'm going to briefly go over the 350k gold farm. First, I added the boat looting system to it and changed the overworld bridges, and the rates went up to 650,000 items per hour. If you want to build this, don't. It's way too laggy, but there's a schematic and world download in the description. Basically, it's 4 chunks of portals built like this to prevent magma cubes from spawning in them. Piglins spawn in the portals and are instantly teleported away. The 4 chunks of portals all link to these 2 portals because 1 portal is built per 2 chunks and each portal is built at the overworld coordinates that would be close to the center of these 2 chunks. Additionally, the portal that links to the killing chamber is very high up so that it's far away from the chunks of portals. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. If you build this farm, please leave this video a like.